All right, welcome to the Right Now Project. The Right Now Project is a podcast about finding and owning who we are. It's about learning to trust ourselves, finally. It's about learning to trust our guts. It's about uncovering our authenticity and allowing who we are to soar. My name is Guy McPherson. I'm the founder here, and this is my journey too. If you're looking for something easy, this is not it. However, if you're ready to step up, ready to explore who you are, the ups and downs, the scars and scrapes, and realize the incredible value in that, this is your place. Let's get started. My therapist called me out. She said, "Do you realize you're not allowing yourself to feel your feelings?" And I thought about that, and at first I kind of pushed back in my own mind. Well, wait a minute, but I'm recognizing them, and I'm seeing them, and that's what I realized. I mean, I can notice my feelings. With all this going on with me right now, I notice fear and hesitation and uncertainty and worry and anxiety and sadness. But as you probably know, it's an entirely different thing to allow yourself to feel them and to work through them and process them. And that session with my therapist really brought home the fact that even though I can recognize these emotions, I'm not allowing myself to feel them and thus work through them and process them, and that is not good. And the main emotion for me, that one that I do not want to feel or allow myself to feel, is sadness. When all this went down, I'm talking about my divorce, I dreaded having to tell my kids. I mean, I just got caught up in the stereotypical idea of shuttling the kids back and forth, and the kids having a really hard time. Fortunately, our divorce was not that at all. It's been pretty amicable. I mean, and I respect my ex for what she did. I don't respect her for how she did it, but I dreaded having to tell our kids that we were getting a divorce. I dreaded it so much so, and I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, that I researched scripts. How do you tell a 13-year-old you're getting a divorce? How do you tell a 7-year-old you're getting a divorce? And I found one for a 13-year-old, and I memorized it. I just kept reading through it to avoid, not so that I would get it right so much, but really to avoid feeling sad, to avoid myself feeling sad. I don't want to feel it. I don't want to feel fear. I don't. And I feel a lot of anxiety. That just kind of waves over me on a daily basis. But sadness, for some reason, I think I'm pretty good at working through it. Not working through it, avoiding it is what I meant to say. I think I'm pretty good at avoiding it. But of course, that doesn't do anyone any good, right? I'm not benefiting from that. I've got to allow myself to feel it. And it sucks. Who the hell wants to feel sad? I don't. Who wants to feel fear? I don't. Jesus. So the question then is, okay, how do I allow myself to feel it? Well, just feel it and be present with it, and yes, notice it when it comes up, which I think I'm good at doing. But that second part is, okay, noticing what happens when it comes up. and sitting with that and being with that and allowing that to be. And as a result, working through that, allowing these different emotions they're here. They're in me, right? It's not as if, hold on, I got to put on a sweater. I'm kind of cold here. Hold on 1 second. All right. As I was putting that sweater on, I was thinking to myself, what does it mean? What does it say about me if I'm sad? What does it say about me? What do I feel it says about me if I'm fearful? And the first thing that comes to mind is weakness. That I'm weak. That, someone has done something to me. And right then, kind of flash back to being bullied as a young kid. We're all human, right? We all have these emotions. And this whole experience has been a cornucopia of emotions and feelings. Ones I want, ones I don't want. Ones I can handle, ones I don't fucking want to handle. And this process of working through, of allowing myself to feel sad. I remember when my parents got divorced, and I remember when I was 18, and I remember my father telling me he was devastated. He just came out of the blue with him too, interestingly enough. But he told me that he would just drive at night and cry. Yeah. I haven't done that. Nor do I think I'm going to do that. But I am doing what I can to avoid feeling a victim, being a victim. Because I kind of did that when I was bullied. And I don't want to go back there. I don't want to deal with that. Not that I don't want to deal with it. I've dealt with it, but I don't want to relive that. And it's just not a beneficial, healthy state for me to be in. And I think, it's one thing to realize that these states or emotions aren't quote unquote beneficial. And I don't even know, something about that doesn't even sound right to me. I mean, I don't even think you can, they just are. I mean, emotions are. I don't think we can qualify them in a way. I mean, they're just part of our human condition. And what we do with them is up to us. And in a way, this is in part me allowing myself to feel the sadness, more than just recognizing it or naming it, but going that extra step and steps closer, further, farther, deeper, and allowing myself to feel and to be with it and to not push it away automatically. Because I do feel sad. And my therapist said, I wonder if you feel resentment too for the way things happened and unfolded. And I do. She said, that's normal. Anyone would in your position, right? Out of the blue, no red flags, no let's talk about this, nothing, right? Anyone would feel resentment. And I do. And then, you're left, you feel that emotion and it goes away. It for the time being, right? It flitters away like a kind of a cloud, right? in the sky just passes along, and you're left with yourself. And now what? And that's a question, I think, for another episode. But this idea of being very able to pinpoint and recognize my emotions, and yet doing a hell of a job at not actually feeling some of them, not allowing some of them to come into my world, not inviting them in, holding them at bay, recognizing them, naming them, but holding them at bay. And you can think about, in turn, what that does, right? Are they going to go away? Is that sadness going to go away if I don't work through it? No, I don't think it is. I don't believe it is. Sadness is one that I'm realizing a lot, very clearly now, that I don't like. And fear, I think in some ways it's pointing to my self-esteem, that I'm not, quote unquote, good enough or smart enough or adept enough or okay enough, good enough dad, good enough father, good enough partner. I blew it. But I am going to allow myself to feel these emotions, and I am going to do more than just recognize them. And I am going to work through this and get through this. And we each have our different times, we each have our different journeys, different ways that we work through these things. But it's important, I believe, to find our way. This is, and for me, this is part of it. This is the way I'm working through it. I don't know who the hell's listening to this. I don't know if anyone's listening to this. But if you are going through something, find your way. I hope you find your way to work through it. I hope you are able to step up and challenge yourself and allow yourself to feel those emotions that maybe you don't otherwise want to feel. Recognize those emotions that maybe you haven't, and process them, and allow ourselves to get stronger in the process. All right. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do this. Reach out to me, guy at thetraumatherapistproject.com. Let me know what you're doing. If you're enjoying these episodes, kindly leave a review on Apple. Helps to get the word out. Helps me keep going. All right. Take care.